Yeah, welcome back. I'm Charles Aite. Many see bus conducting, popularly known as Trotsky mate in Ghana, as a demanding profession meant for men, and in fact, some shy away from the job. But Akofa, a female final year student at the University of Ghana, has defied all odds by making great strides, juggling bus conducting with academics. My colleague James Ishan visited her and has come through with a special report.
Make lemonade when life offers you lemons. This explains the life of Akofa, a final year student at the University of Ghana. As the saying goes, what man can do, women can do better.
Bus conductor, popularly known as mate here in Ghana, is a male-dominated job. But it appears ladies or women these days are gradually changing that narrative. We are currently at Medina to engage a level 400 student who also double as a bus conductor. She's a lady. Don't expect a deep voice today, but expect a very soothing one. We are doing Medina to Amran here, but let me engage her shortly to know how the journey started for her, what she has been up to, and how she juggles between being a bus conductor as well as a student.
I'm 31, a mother of two, a level 400 students at the University of Ghana, distance education.
What course do you do?
I read information studies and psychology, combined major.
Now, tell me, at what point in time did you even decide to even want to come into this, or want to even start something of this sort?
That was last year, about 5 months ago, almost 6 months now. So I was doing a fruit business in front of where I stay. My landlord gave me the place, but later came that the sister wanted to use the place for business. So I had to stop the business. And then I was home. I have bills to pay. My kids are there, my fees and everything. I was thinking about the whole situation, and I'm like, no, I have to do something. So before I joined the car, actually, when I was selling the fruit, the driver has been the one taking, whenever I come to market, he carries my goods back home. So the last day I came to buy goods, his mate didn't turn up for work. So when we were going, I helped him to get home. We called the mate, he still didn't pick the call. So I asked him if I can help him for the day. He said, oh, you'll be very grateful. So we did the work throughout the day. At the end of the day, I took his number. In the evening, I called him. I'm like, I want to do a mate job. He said, no, you can't do it. I'm like, look, I can do it. He said it's difficult, so he would rather prefer a meal. And I told him, look, give me 3 days. If I don't perform, just let me go, sack me. And then he said, okay. So we started. So far, that's how I started the work, and it's been good.
Was there any discouraging words from anyone when you decided to start?
Yeah, my landlord went behind me to tell me to stop the work because I can't do it. The next day I can't even wake up and all that. And I told them, look, I know what's running after me, so I want to do this. They should allow me. As far as I don't go to anybody, give me food, give me this. I can do something to feed myself, to cater for myself. Everybody should back off. Let me just do my thing.
What, did you have a discussion with your landlord on the very first day, after the very first day, what you went to? Because
no.
So how come he concluded that you couldn't wake up?
I don't know. He said he has done it before. It's very difficult, so he doubts if I can do it. You know, a lot of people underestimate people. You know, they see you and they think you are too feeble. You can't do this, you can't do that. But look, I'm a very strong person. So
Being a bus conductor for the past 5 months hasn't been easy for Akofa, especially with respect to her academics.
Within the past month, school was in session. How were you juggling with it? When you have lectures on weekends, do you come to work or what do you do?
So at times I go to lectures on weekends, at times too I don't go.
Doesn't that affect you?
If I don't go a day, it affects my finances. So if I don't work a day, so I mix it. If I go this week, probably next week I'll go to lectures. So that's how I do it.
And that's okay?
Yeah, at least I try to read myself too. So.
Interesting. But I should believe you are getting some good money from this.
Well, it's better than not doing anything. It's not, you were in the car going and coming back. You saw how many passengers we picked before we got here. The work is so bad, but at least as far as it put food on your table.
That's okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay. But one of the funny bits, should I even say this, but I remember those days when I was in this position. There are times I used to mafia. Let me use the word mafia.
The chobo aspect,
exactly, the chobo. In this case, do you also? It's something I don't expect you to say, but is there anything of that sort?
It's okay. You said you were going to long journeys.
Yeah, that was Madina to Insao.
So probably you get some chobo. This one, the driver knows how much he gets in one set. So even if you do pick and drop, how many people will you pick on the road? So you can't steal the person.
She takes us to a typical day as a bus conductor.
Cool. Definitely you will meet some bad nuts.
So how do you deal with those bad nuts?
Well, as human beings that we are, there are times that you may go overboard, but with this work, you have to be very tolerant to be able to deal with the passengers. Else every day they will be fighting the car.
Are there encounters where you felt like, no, this time I really need to unleash that other side of me?
Oh, yes.
So what did you do?
I can equally answer you whatever you tell me. Like whatever you say, that gets me angry, let me say. But then, most of the times, I learn to ignore them most of the times. Because you'll be wasting your breath and all that. I'm already tired, so I don't have lots of strength to engage in other stuff. So
I understand for bus conducting, you guys have ways of collecting your money. So how do you ensure that? Because I could see first seat, second seat, third seat, and the fourth seat. How do you ensure that at the end of the day you collected those from the first seat all the way through to the last seat?
So most of the times, if I load the car and then it's full set, I start taking from front, then to next one. Hello. Actually, I'm busy. So to the next one, that's how I do it.
And how do you get about the money? Because I know that instances where some of them come with very huge money, 260.
This morning, I had 100, 50, 50, 50. There are times you get frustrated because there will be mounting pressure on you for change and all that. But because of that, we have also devised strategy. At the end of the day, we make sure we have a lot of smaller denominations before the next morning, so that when we move, at least we will have some points to be falling back on before the day goes on.
I have actually been in this position before. That was some years back. And what I used to do was, when collecting these big money, at the end of the day, if I'm not getting the right changes from them, I mostly put it here. Is that the case for you guys, or you have a different strategy you deploy to ensure that you do the right thing and get them their right changes?
When I take your money, there is a way I hold all the money.
So start again.
So I'm holding it this way, and you give me money. I've not given you your change. I don't add it to this one. I do it like this. Then I have a fair idea that I've not given this particular person change.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the ones I didn't change, I do them this way. If I've changed you, I add it like this. At the end of the day, I know that nobody's change is here, except I have money folded like this. Yeah.
So this is a typical day for Akofa. This is what she does on a daily basis, trying to get passengers to join the bus and head straight all the way to Madina.
Madina, 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 Madina. Madina, smoker, Madina.
Kweku is the driver of the bus. and he says it's been positive working with a female conductor who double as a student. Because she's a lady, passengers always yearn to join the bus. She interacts well with the passengers.
Oh, Medina air condition car. Oh, Minyaska. Compared to those days, I want to oh, yeah, dear. Now, station, what are some of the feedbacks on Minya? Oh, yeah. Not just station for passengers, passengers, no, yeah,
she's very rude. I keep getting questions of why a lady instead of a guy.
And I die be on me whom men come, I will be son. I say, no meet now, ma. On my I'm a miss from my customers. It's our best target. Yes.
Well, so it's been an interesting journey all the way from Amaraya to here in Medina, and a very interesting conversation with Akofa, who happens to be a level 400 student and also double as a bus conductor, which of course we call mates here in Ghana. She tells us how the journey has been for her so far, starting this 5 months ago to where we are. She's gradually warming herself up, though let's say for now she knows the ins and outs of being a bus conductor here. So for Joy Business, James Eshen.
And that's James Eshen's reports there. But away from that, the price of Gari has seen a 100% increase since the outbreak of COVID-19. This was revealed after an interaction with some cereal traders at the Osu market. Joy Business Beverly Brom has more in today's edition of the Shopping List.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Shopping List. Today we are at the Osu market to take a look at the prices of cereals. On my list, I have groundnut, I have gari, I have beans, I have wheat, and then I have millet. Come along with me.
We say 1 cup here, 4 cedis. 4 cedis for 1 cup. Which one is say? We say 1 cup. Okay. So which one we need for now? Yeah, DG 22 cedis. First no, yeah. Now you turn to say 18 cedis. For bigger cup, now we say no, 3 cedi. It's a bigger cup, only 18 cedis. For now, no, you have to tune every Brazil day I will become market. No, you have to tune your memo. Until you corner somebody can crack to swear. Yes, we are back. I was say a dear quincy be. Until for now, only the bigger cup, no, 22 cedis.
Now, beans, no, so many types of beans. Check memo.
There were different types of beans. We say Nigeria, and in so. We say wale. When you see a friend in honey beans, to say we say honey beans. Until we say no 1 cup, no, 7 cedis. 7 cedis, yeah. Olonka, no, 40 cedis for Olonka. And I went so, wale. Madrin 5 cedi. Olonka ye DG 30 for now. There were Niger beans for her, and also 1 cup 4 cedis. Olonka DG 22 cedis.
It is a mixture say away to wale.
Where Nigeria.
Now we see
Niger.
Also we no Olonka near 35. 30
cedis for now.
And away near
22 cedis.
Not na the figure na minimum here. Price no.
What say? Any no penny. What I say? Obi wo ha o say o mi pe beans, mi pe de be beans sia. Anase mi pe de eni so ade no eyendi de so ne de so. Nti be say we in Nigeria no eni so. Esin wale no. Nti e ba sa na Nigeria no price no e wo sro kakra. Wale price no so I say wo form kakra. Beans bia protein eye ba ko by taste no. E na kasa. Olonka say no 12 cedi. Margarine ye 2 cedi. We say no 6 Olonka. Into say 6 ni Olonka. Next say margarine ye 2 cedi. Into Olonka full no 12 cedi.
Auntie Lizzie, offer na gari enye ofio.
Olonka 12 cedi, butter 2 cedi.
Offer na carrot 12 cedi. You say enye ni Olonka.
Because all is 6 cedi. Na ngmeno, ni kolo na ba na ngmeno. Be an answer no more. Then I want like 5 million, 5.7. Then I can walk you can foot walk. Go yet 10 your hand, go yet 11 your hand. Because I any walk. Imagine a 2 city like an all chain. Broken. A Brazil be on money, but 2 city 50 pesos. We look at 15. Ni 3 city, you look at 18 city. And broken. And enough be a broken, nothingness be a broken, but 3 city. You look at 18. And then Brazil serious to be a brown rice. Imagine 5 city. We look at 28. And then Nigeria be a no. Butter 3 city, we look at 18. You may go watching, you can feel your love. Shama may not come away. I'm a chon, okay, chon was son, me son. I was like, my lamb, make a new work. I feel a community, I should pull your. And what me put your anything. I can feel me your. What my name is, in a
So it's a wrap for us here at the Osu market. But note that all of these prices can vary within the space of 24 hours. So anytime you're stepping out of your home to visit the Osu market, make sure you have a miscellaneous to cater for all your unplanned expenses. For Joy Business, I am Beverly Broom.
And the Joy Business list comes off next week, Friday, once again. But it's now time for Tech Business. Today, we take a look at the top 10 startups in Ghana that received funding from both local and international investors this year amid the ravages of the pandemic. Our usual guest, lead developer and founder of ISOP Africa, Henry Kobler, joins us with more. Henry, we're grateful that you could join us. If you could take a cursory look at the very, top 10 startups that really attracted funding. We could start off with M Pharma. It's a health-related, startup, and of course they received funding in excess of $88.2 million. That's massive.
The greatest density of migrants reaches land.
Do we have Henry there? All right. So even as Henry joined. I think Henry has now joined us. Henry, we're grateful that you could join us on Tech Business. We're going to be starting off with, M Pharma, because they have attracted an investment of over $80 million, as you can see on the screen there, and the founders being Gregory Roxim and Daniel Shukemas. Help us understand the story behind this briefly, so we could move to the second one.
Okay, so M Pharma basically has been in the health industry, providing health insurance for Ghanaians, and they sort of have been very premium, especially during the COVID period, where they give a lot of support to a lot of the businesses that are out there. I think attracting that level of funding is a good one for them, and that growth comes in. I mean, almost about $90 million coming through for Gregory is a plus for the health industry.
Interesting. Let's now move to the very second startup in Ghana, which attracted funding from local and international investors.
Okay, so OZ.
We have OZ there on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, OZ is trying to, help get this habit of record keeping for SMEs. I mean, that's a very terrible thing where a lot of people are starting to have businesses but are not able to keep proper records that can help them to get along. And so getting over $4.5 million in terms of funding into their operations, I think gives them a good leverage for creation of tools which can help a lot of the SMEs to be keeping records and to be able to set themselves apart in the industry. So it's a good one for them as well.
Indeed, especially within such a very difficult market. What are the very third startup that we're going to be looking at this hour?
That's a startup from Songo Dele, amazing startup there. I don't even look at it in terms of startup. It's actually a big company now. Basically, what they've been doing again is to look into the health sector, cultivating a bit of work ethics in the health sector. Songo Dele is one amazing person that distinguishes himself when it comes down to running startups, making sure that They are also investing in startups that are health.
I'm afraid the connection there is kind of murky. I'm afraid we're losing Henry there. But of course, let's wrap up with the other 10 Ghanaian startups that are really having, their head. We're talking of Africa Health Holdings Limited. They've been able to attract close to $32 million from international and, funding. And the very next one, aside from Africa Health Holdings, we could have the very next one being ZPay, the popular ZPay. They've managed to attract close to $9 million. And of course, they're the fastest growing fintech in Ghana when it comes to digital, rails to connect digital assets. The very next one after ZPay in terms of the funding portfolio is that of Jetstream Africa with $3.1 million, and they are into the supply chain that powers global trade logistics for African suppliers there. And of course, we could go on and on and on to the very next Ghanaian startup are being Float. They have been able to attract $2.5 million from Megan McCormick and Dave Emnett. They're also into SMEs in Africa, keeping digital records in that nature. Henry is on. I believe Henry is on. Help us summarize the future of most of these startups, especially when investment remains very much bright for them.
Yeah. I think that Float has done an amazing job as well, trying to raise that good funding. It's very difficult trying to put out your businesses in the light where you would be looking at that. And so for them to come in with trying to make records in startup funding, a bit of a deal, and being able to raise $2.5 million from the startup points is a good one. They've actually done a very good job with that.
Let's look at the 9th and 10th, Ghanaian startups. We've talked about Float, and of course, let's now talk about Redbird. They are into the health sector. They've been able to attract $2 million in international funding, Henry.
Exactly. So you'd realize that quite a lot of the startups that are here raising some good amount of money are within the health sector.
Exactly.
Because I think that seems to be a big deal for a lot of the investors that are looking into Africa, because our health issues seems to be a point to invest in. And so whenever anybody is getting into the health sector and are trying to provide some level of anything with regards to monitoring, with regards to giving solutions to health, they are easily funded. And so Redbird, basically, I think I've seen them deploy in a lot of pharmaceutical companies in Ghana. And so it's one of the practices I'm trying to see how they would leverage on their level of funding to grow in Ghana.
Great. Let's now end with the very last, Ghanaian startup, Bizo Money. They're into finance, and of course, they've been able to attract $300,000, and they provide financial solutions for the unbanked and usual people in society. We're expecting them to be at least in the top 5. All right, it seems, Henry's connection there has been much of a challenge, but we get to appreciate the investment portfolio of these top 10 Ghanaian startups, especially when they all provided niche solutions to problems in Ghana. This is all that entrepreneurship is about, and we shall keeping an eye on, development within the startup industry. Henry Cobbler is president, founder of iSolve Africa, helping us with, the very latest in the world of tech business. But that's all for Marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Many thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.